Alton Cockets, and I am a resident of Brentwood. I've lived there for 23 years. And anyone who lives in Edgemont knows that Brentwood's just over there. And we have a lot in common, including the schools that our children go to. A lot of the students from Calgary Foothills end up at Sir Winston Churchill High School, which is also where all three of my children went. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am currently an instructor in the Faculty of Education at the University of Calgary in teacher preparation. I'm teaching a really great course right now on STEM education. And for those that don't know, that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And we like to also add the A so that the arts are in there and call it STEAM. And I like to call it eco-STEAM, because we want everything that we do to be in an ecological context, a responsible way of thinking about how one thing affects another. And in the schools, our teachers will be taking that. I've also participated with the Alberta Council for Environmental Education recently, giving input to the government on the curriculum redesign, and to get that environmental thinking in there in every subject, in every discipline, at every level, not as something extra to do, but part and parcel about the way we think about all issues that we encounter, whether it's to do with the oil sands, whether it's to do with our healthcare system or education. The Green Party itself is connected in with the Greens worldwide, which can continue to make fantastic progress in setting policies and giving direction and representing the people. They stand for ecological wisdom, which is part of what I've just been talking about. They stand for social justice, for sustainability, and whatever that might mean. And there's a lot of dialogue around, well, what does that mean? And that is all also inclusive of participatory democracy. If a certain percentage of Albertans are voting green or for any particular party, well, then that percentage should be represented at the table making decisions for our society. So we need to switch that up a little bit and catch up with some of the other countries in the world which are doing that. We also, this respect for diversity. Now, last week, as an environmental educator, I was at the North American Association for Environmental Education held in Ottawa, and it was great, and there was a really interesting conversation around even the word diversity, and maybe that we should change it to the word inclusivity, because to be diverse is to divide and separate, and what we really want to do is bring people in and have that respect in all directions. So words do matter. I have no idea how much time I have left, but it looks like a red card there. So thank you very much. It's a real honor to be here and to be representing all of your voices in the legislature soon. Thank you.
Rock star. I want to echo the thanks to Julie and to Stephanie and to volunteers, and thank you all for coming. So I'm going to start with telling you a bit about who I am. I'm going to talk a bit about why I'm running, and I'm going to tell you why you should vote for me. So I'm a longtime Calgarian. I was raised nearby, just over the hill in Beddington, as we say, and my husband, who is over there, we both consider Calgary our home. I work as a communications consultant in an engineering firm, and so I tell people that means I'm a professional listener. I get to build narratives, and I get to build teams based on shared values and shared goals. I also volunteer with several organizations that do work about raising violence against women, raising awareness about violence against women, and also environmental sustainability. I'm running because as a longtime Calgary resident, a community organizer, and a voter, I'm proud of my city, and I believe we deserve better government. It upsets me when I hear about voter apathy when every day I'm working beside these incredible volunteers, these incredible activists. My experience has shown me that people are disengaged from politics because our government has failed them, and they're boycotting a broken system, not because they're apathetic. So if you'd asked me a year ago if I would be standing here, I would have been pretty surprised, I think. But I had lots of conversations with my friends and my family and some really great mentors, and I realized that this is the best way I can give back to my community, and I'm really honored to do so. Alberta is a modern and it's a growing province, and your riding deserves an engaged and it deserves a connected MLA. I've spent the last 2.5 weeks door knocking evenings and weekends after working my full-time job, and anyone who knows me can tell you that I am a fierce advocate, and I am an extremely hard worker. I had a master's degree by the time I was 22. A couple years ago, I became one of the youngest managers in my firm. So I know that successful leadership, it takes commitment, but it also means drawing from the resources of your team. As your MLA, I would continue building on the relationships I've started during this campaign, drawing on the knowledge of community leaders. And above all, I would continue to be a professional listener. I would make sure your interests are represented in the legislature. We need a fresh, collaborative approach to government in Calgary, and especially in Foothills, where the same party has represented you here for 43 years. The Alberta NDP is a growing party across the province, and it's gaining some incredible momentum and energy in Calgary right now. I believe that I have the experience and I have the passion to be your MLA and bring the change that your riding deserves. So this election, I'm asking you to vote for something different, but also vote for something better. Thank you.
I would like to thank the organizers, other candidates, and each of you for the opportunity to participate in tonight's debate. I grew up on a farm outside of Cochrane, learned the value of hard work and the need to get a good education. I graduated from the University of Calgary with a BA in Law and Society, and as you have guessed, played center for the U of C Dimes. I've coached the 15A provincial champions in basketball, and now own a small business. Isn't it a privilege to live in the best province, in the best country in the world? There are a lot of good things happening in Alberta. A lot of things that need fixing. Things that can and should be better. Have you ever asked yourself why? When we have one of the world's best economies in the world, why are roads and hospitals and schools run down? Why do you have to wait so long in line for basic health care? Why are our children's classrooms so overcrowded? Why are seniors being nickeled and dimed? And to top this off, why are we going into debt again? It's because after 43 years, the same old government with the same old ideas are not working for the Alberta of 2014. Mr. Prentice is a good man running to serve our province, but his team and his party have caused enough trouble for you. They've changed enough leaders for them in 3 years. It's time for you to send a message to Albertans to change our government. The Alberta Liberals offer a vision for a better economy, an Alberta that is strong, that has a strong society. What does that mean? A strong economy means doing the right thing on the environment with the world's best practices so we can get our pipelines through and our product to market. We need to diversify, develop, and innovate with technologies. That means investing in post-secondary education, reducing tuition, hiring enough teachers to teach our kids from K to 12, hiring enough nurses to care for our sick and elderly, building and maintaining our public infrastructure, schools, and hospitals. How are we going to pay for this? Firstly, we got to change our government. We got to open up the books and find out where all the money is being spent and wasted. I want to say It's time for change. I'm Robert Pristic, and I'm asking your support to represent you in the legislature. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
So maybe one more large round of applause for all the candidates. So I'm going to start off with one question from the organizing committee, and this is to all the candidates. And Kathy will go first in response to it. It's been in the media a lot lately that we need more senior support, whether in home care, long-term care, or assisted living. How would your party go about doing this? And would your party partner with for-profit seniors care to address this issue?
Great, well thank you very much, Julie. I want to start off by saying that the Wild Rose Party supports universal health care and the Canada Health Act. I mean, I want to get that out first off. Universal public health care and the Canada Health Act. We need a strong healthcare system. I was just speaking to a doctor actually before I got here tonight, and his response was that our healthcare system is a disaster. It is in crisis, and so when we're hearing about this, this is absolutely the case. And this is coming straight from a doctor. Our seniors are the ones that are dealing with a lot of these issues because they do not have the mobility, and they're waiting in these long lineups. There's a shortage of beds, and there's a lack of doctors to go around. So our seniors definitely do need some special care in this case. We have seniors that are only having possibly 2 baths a week, so that's unbelievable to think about. You know, waiting 2 years to see a back specialist. We have patients waiting up to 24 hours in emergency. Meanwhile, what we're hearing about are these bonuses to executives, $3.2 million spent on bonuses to executives at Alberta Health Care Services. So this is not acceptable in a prosperous province like this. It's not easy to find beds. We have a problem. We need to free them up for our seniors. Home care does a great job. I want to mention that first off. And the Wild Rose Party has just announced that they're going to be putting an additional $50 million into home care to help with our seniors, to give them the dignity to stay at home and have their families care for them in the comfort of their own home. So that's really very important to the Wild Rose Party and to myself. And I would certainly like to advocate in this area and work in this area. I care very deeply for seniors, and I dealt with this firsthand with my mother, so thank you very much.
Thanks again. The Green Party is very, of course, supports universal health care, in particular through this idea of social justice and inclusivity and respect. And how can you take that into our communities in a way that is holistic? Within the healthcare system, only some things are covered by the Health Act, and there are lots of other health practitioners that could serve seniors very well through exercise or other ways of working in an array of services, which would be wonderful to have. There are a lot of medical practices in Calgary now developing more holistically that picks up on this whole ecological thinking things. If we have that personal care, this individual care,